cute.
You know, I feel like we got a nice little break.
Yeah, I definitely feel recharged.
After doing the unimaginable, Huntrix finally gets some downtime in a world free of demons. That's a pretty good vacation if you ask me. But they can only stay away for so long before they're pulled back into the limelight by their adoring fans. In the final scene of K-pop Demon Hunters, they leave behind a bathhouse and stumble upon 3 girls dressed in Huntrix merch. Unable to ignore such devoted fans, Rumi and the others decide to put their break aside to introduce themselves and make their fans' day. The sweet moment gives the story a happy ending, but I find it interesting that our final moments with Huntrix included new characters, instead of ones that we met during the film like Celine and Bobby. That's why, in today's video, I will discuss these 3 fangirls and why they might follow in Huntrix's footsteps to become hunters.
This is the battle for hearts and minds, a battle for the fans. And what's the biggest battlefield of them all?
Number 1, the ending featured them. In a film as detail-oriented as K-pop Demon Hunters, every character has a purpose. While the last scene could have been a nod to Huntrix and how much they care about their fans, showing us that their lives will continue as normal now that the honeymoon's closed, it's also possible that the scene foreshadowed Huntrix's future and that they'll pass down the baton someday, making room for the next hunters to take their place. It feels like a promise that after Calamity, the world will keep on turning and everything will go back to normal. Of course, as things return to normal, Huntrix will continue to perform and enhance their musical careers, while also stepping back to make room for the next generation of hunters, who will inevitably rise in the K-pop industry to continue strengthening the Hanmoon with their voices. I can't help but think that we'll see these 3 fans again, whether in the sequel or another future project. However, the lore has made it clear that Huntrix's time will come to an end, and one day, they'll need successors to keep Gi-ma at bay. Not to mention, Huntrix created a new Hanmoon and abandoned the hunter tradition to accept Rumi's demon side. But if anyone would trust in Huntrix and adopt their beliefs as well, it would be their fans.
Hi, everyone.
Rumi! Oh my gosh, I'm so
Number 2, an obvious trio. If the film was just going to show us Huntrix interacting with their fans, why did it need to be these 3 girls in particular? Throughout the film, we see countless fans who pack into the venues and Huntrix events just to get a glimpse at their idols. It's safe to assume that anyone walking down the same street knows who Huntrix is and could easily recognize them. Rumi's appearance, at the very least, makes her stand out in the crowd. Instead, we specifically get a trio of young girls who are die-hard fans of Huntrix. These girls are a close trio who share a love for our favorite K-pop hunters, and who can blame them, right? It goes deeper than that though, as we know that every hunter group comes in groups of 3. That tradition has remained the same for centuries, with hunters training to live with, fight alongside, and trust one another. It only seems right that each trio has a strong foundation of friendship, which we see through Huntrix, and hear through Celine when she talks about Rumi's late mother. These 3 girls have the connection needed to become hunters and be as successful as their idols in the process.
It is your voices, your song, that will create the Golden Hanmoon.
Yes, Celine.
Number 3, parallels to Huntrix. These 3 fangirls already look to Huntrix to model themselves after. When they meet the K-pop group, they're each holding a picture of the members and are decked out in Huntrix merch. I wouldn't be surprised if they spent their free time practicing K-pop covers, posting online, and trying to gain a following for their own careers. It's great to see how much Huntrix has inspired their fans, and these girls could find worse things to obsess over than music and K-pop idols. Moreover, if they're determined to follow in Huntrix's footsteps, then they could take that one step further than they ever thought possible, becoming performers and hunters. The scene with these 3 fangirls is brief, and we don't get the chance to see each of their personalities shine, but they clearly share a childlike wonder and passion. With guidance from Rumi, Mira, and Zoey, they could also become the greatest group of hunters in the next generation. If we had a series or film that followed these 3, we might find that they each form an instant bond with one of the Huntrix members, because their personal lives are so similar. One might feel ostracized by her family, and another might be in the midst of a parental divorce. Either way, these parallels would allow their mentors from Huntrix to help them in all walks of life.
Rumi, I'm so happy you didn't, die.
Wow, Zoe, way to be super literal. But same.
Number 4, Huntrix's public interactions. It also makes sense that Huntrix would start searching for their replacements now that they've stopped Gi-ma and sealed the Hanmoon. We see how much work they put into their double lives throughout the film, and the life of a K-pop star is a demanding one. They can't perform forever, and it's safe to assume that fighting demons on the down low would start to take a physical toll on them too. The film never explains where hunters find or recruit new members. We know there are always women that can train in groups of 3, but there doesn't seem to be a special way of locating potential recruits. Celine obviously raised Rumi to become a hunter from a young age. But Mira came from a traditional family and Zoey grew up in America. Celine and other hunters may hone in on people who have a strong influence over the Hun Moon. If that's the case, then Huntrix's interactions with the public might have a practical use too, as they search for fans who could influence the Hun Moon and inspire hope in others.
We can reschedule another live show within days.
I don't know if that's going to be possible.
Number 5, the secret is out? One of the mysteries of the first film is the general knowledge of the public. Throughout the film, Huntrix maintains their K-pop idol images by meeting fans, delivering top-notch performances, and having regular meetings with their manager Bobby. While they do this, they keep their double lives as hunters a secret, allowing fans to believe that the demons that invade their shows are nothing more than special effects. They also cover up their bruises and wounds with makeup to keep Bobby from questioning them. However, it seems like the cat is finally out of the bag after Huntrix's battle with Guima. Not only did they save hundreds of fans from the demon's control, but those fans watched from the audience as the forces of good and evil gave it their all. In the end, they witnessed Huntrix defeat the Saja Boys and Guima. While they could try to play off the battle as an elaborate stunt, it would be hard to excuse the way they floated hundreds of feet in the air after defeating Guima. Rumi also embraces her demon side afterward, going out of her way to ensure everyone can see her new iridescent markings. It seems the world should be aware of the hunters' needs for successors, which would encourage hopeful hunters to line up at their door, prompting them to start the search for replacements early.
A long time ago. Before I destroy what I swore to protect.
Number 6, the franchise's success. We can't ignore the overwhelming success that K-pop Demon Hunters achieved overnight. Now a global sensation, it has remained at the top of film charts for weeks, and continues to be the talking point for fans everywhere. These fans come from all walks of life, ranging from adults to young children, who find the music catchy, the animation fun, and the plot moving. For the most part, everyone agrees that this no-name animated film, dropped by Netflix one evening, is one of the best films in recent years. All of that to say, the success of the first film means we'll receive a sequel, and potentially a few more films after that. It's also possible that we'll start to receive spin-off content like comics, books, television series, and even video games. With so much potential, there's no end to the types of stories they might follow. But a series about a group of younger hunters like these 3 fangirls would be perfect for a younger demographic. Everyone indeed loves Huntrix, but having another group of hunters who deal with everyday childhood-centered problems could keep younger fans engaged and allow them to enjoy relatable narratives.
Oh, no, I couldn't possibly. Just kidding, road me. I'm a 34 short, please. See you in a couple weeks, girls.
Bye, Bobby.
Given its recent success, I doubt we'll see the end of K-pop Demon Hunters anytime soon. With so many stories to tell and a vast fan base, it only makes sense to include more characters who will appeal to everyone. Tons of storylines could follow these 3 fangirls as they pursue their own music careers and stumble into their training as hunters. It doesn't require them to overshadow Huntrix either, as Rumi, Mira, and Zoey have all the skill and experience necessary to train the next generation of hunters. More importantly, they can do so while questioning tradition and encouraging their successors to remember that not everything is as cut and dry as it seems. Do you think the first film laid the groundwork for new characters? Will we get the chance to see a new K-pop group dominate the charts and become a pain in Gima's side? Let us know what you think in the comments.
That's not all you are. This is just your demon talking. You have to fight it.
That's not how it works! Yes,
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You're working with him? No! I was using him to fix all this, to fix me,